Well, Trailblazers fans, it's not the end of the world, but it might feel like it after what transpired in the final few minutes of this game against the New York Knicks. A game in which the Blazers really did play their tails off. They played a great basketball game, were outdueled in about the final 2 minutes when it unraveled. There was some good, there was some bad, there was some good news, and there was some worse news. And it was all just brutal as the Blazers, though they battled hard, fall to the New York Knicks 123-114, ending their 5-game winning streak. Welcome into the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. If you want to join the conversation with us today, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can text us at the Rip City Radio text line. Just text 88528, or you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there as well. Again, this game had its ups, it had its downs. The best part was just the way it started. The Blazers came out and they dueled with the Knicks. It was 34-34 after the first quarter. Everything was going the way you wanted it. The Knicks outscored them 31-26 in the second, but you live with that. You understand that sometimes you're going to get outscored, and you're keeping it close, really. It was 25-25 in the third, and in the fourth quarter was really where it unraveled for you, because the Blazers were doing their best to keep it a game, and they kept it close. And late in the game, they had the 104-103 lead, and then the Knicks went on an 11-0 run and pushed it to a point where the Blazers just couldn't come back. And we talked about it in the pregame show, how, this team, the New York Knicks, takes a lot of threes, makes a lot of threes. They shoot 38% on the year, and they're one of the tops in the NBA, just like Houston was. Houston came in shooting 38%, and the Blazers held them to 22% in both of those victories over the last 4 days. But the Knicks came in this one. They shot 37% from deep. They were 17 of 46. They only went to the line 8 times, which is interesting that they only went to the line 8 times when you can pair that to the Blazers, who are 22 of 25 from the free throw stripe. The Knicks only 6 of 8, but those three-pointers were doing them in. And then you go back to what the team does on the offensive glass and how they need to be a little bit better on the defensive glass. The Knicks, 13 offensive rebounds. They did have 16 second chance points to the 7 of the Blazers. And then you start to look at the fact that the Blazers, those wins against the Rockets were kind of out of sorts, because they entered those games against Houston 1-8 when the team they were playing took 95 or more field goal attempts. They got those 2 wins, which was great, but in this one, the Knicks, 99 shot attempts in this game. 99! And they were 50 of 99 from the floor. You get those offensive rebounds, and you get those extra second chance shots. You push in a transition, which is absolutely what the Knicks were trying to do today. I talked about it pregame, how you do have Jalen Brunson, which means they can slow down when they want to, but overall, it was a team that was trying to push the tempo, get into the Blazers game, and beat them at their game. So kudos to the New York Knicks. And again, when the other team's going to go take a lot of shots, you're just going to struggle. You're going to struggle because it's hard to defend when they have, again, the law of averages type thing where they're going to go take shots, and that means that they're going to make some of those shots. The 99 shot attempts is tied for 4th most in a game this season. 4 times a team has shot 100 or more against this Blazers team. Taking a look at the individual box score balance on the New York side of things. OG Anunoby had 24 points, 7 boards, 3 assists. Josh Hart, who was announced in the starting lineup to a massive ovation, he did have 18. He was a potential scratch from this game, but did end up playing, so shout out to him. 20 points for Karl Anthony Towns to go along with 11 rebounds. 26 points, 8 assists, 6 boards for Jalen Brunson. Mikal Bridges had 18 points. Miles McBride had 8. And the thing is, you look down the list here, Miles McBride, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, those were the guys who were hitting some of those clutch threes when the Knicks went on that quick 11-0 run. It was 3 straight three-pointers That was the start of that run. So a 9-0 run right there. 3-3-3, and next thing you know, the Blazers are in a hole that they can't dig out of. On the Blazers side of things, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 4 to Monty Kamara. Sidi Sissoko had 5 points, 8 points, and 8 rebounds from Donovan Clingan. Denny Avdia had 25 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists from Shaedon Sharpe. Caleb Love was massive in this game. He had 21 points, including going 5 of 12 from beyond the arc, and was really putting on a display with his passing. Probably one of the best games from him when it comes to just passing the ball. It was very, very it was just on brand. It was crisp. It was beautiful, quite honest. Alley-oops and full court passes. Like he was on one tonight, which you definitely love to see. And then, of course, rounding out the lineup, you got to look at Drew Holiday. That's right. He was back tonight on a minutes restriction. He played just 16 minutes, but he had 8 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and let me tell you what, just having him on the floor, you could tell how important it is to have a point guard back in the lineup, because that was pretty nice. Biggest lead of the night for the Knicks was 11 points when they led 123 to 112. The Blazers' biggest lead was 3 when they led 3-zip, and there was 19 lead changes and 9 ties in this game. But realistically, that you can take the box score, you can do this to it. I'm gonna fold it. You know, it's like I'm at OMSI. I'm in the little wind tunnel. Like, how good can I make this paper airplane? Because that's what this box score is. It's a paper airplane today. We just want to throw it away. We don't care. And quite frankly, if the Blazers would have made a comeback, we would have done this exact same thing. We would have made this beautiful aerodynamic paper airplane that Boeing would be proud of, and we'll just throw it into the concourse, because none of that matters after what happened in the final 2 minutes, and that was Denny Avdia. Denny Avdia went up for a rebound, came down awkward, landed normally like on his feet, but just came down hard, and that impact went right through. Instantly, he grabbed his low back, pointed to the bench, and asked for the sub, and just started walking. Coach Tiago Splitter calls a timeout, and Denny Avdia wastes no time. He just goes straight to the locker room. And we have not heard an update on Denny as of yet. Coach did just say that all he knows it's a back injury, and that's the bad part. As one of our texters says, sorry to the parents next to me for their kids learning new words when Denny got hurt. And since they're apologizing, we can all assume that they were not age-appropriate words, which, using choice words in that context, I can understand is totally acceptable. So that's where we're at. The box score doesn't matter in this one, because Denny Avdia has clearly been the Trailblazers' best player this season, and now you just got to sit here and hope that that injury is not something that keeps him out long term. It is interesting, though, that on the heels of it being announced that Chris Murray is out indefinitely and will be evaluated at the appropriate time, and you will get updates on those evaluations, but he was announced that he's out with lumbar pain, low back. So if you were watching that game, Denny did kind of seem like he tweaked it the play before, where but not bad, just kind of rubbed it. And then, that rebound where he skied for it. I mean, he went high. He got up in the air for that one. Just came down awkward and then instantly grabbed that back. And it's never good. It is never good when the injury happens and it's just an instant point to the bench and just start walking to the back. Like, you can't even get back on defense. It's just we gotta get out of here. I'm hurt. I'm in a bad way, man. I'm in a bad way. So you just gotta hope that he's all right. Like I said, we have not had an update as of yet. As soon as PR lets us know, if they happen to do it during the show here, then I'll definitely let you know. But we haven't had one yet. All we have is Coach Tiago Splitter after the game confirming that it was a back injury, but he does not know anymore either. Got to keep in mind, he subs him out. He still tries to win the game. They go to the locker room, talk to the team, then he goes straight to the press conference room. So probably not a lot to update there. But I'm a guy who has had a couple of those little back tweaks, like where you throw your back out, and sometimes they will linger. I remember a couple of years ago during like state basketball tournaments, I looked like an old man. I should have had a cane. Like I was slumped over everywhere I went, couldn't get out of a chair because those muscles were just tightening up on me so bad. And that's just average Joe trying to operate throughout the day, not the guy who's trying to play basketball at an absolute elite level. The difference between Denny Avdia and average Joe is his body is built to take a beating. Mine is no longer. I gotta change that. Start my New Year's resolution, 2 weeks late. Why not? I'm just waiting for people to clear out of the gym before I get back in there to start, the 2026 goal to weight loss. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, the airplane has been floated. For those of you, what airplane? That's right. Just make a paper airplane out of the box score. Throw it out the window. Throw it down the concourse because it doesn't matter. The Blazers lost. I thought they played well against a very good New York Knicks team. Crumbled there in the final 2 minutes, and a lot of that was just because they were making some very, very clutch three-point shots, the New York Knicks were. But the Blazers held in there. Losing Denny is obviously a big hurt, and it's just how that works sometimes. It just sucks to lose him on the same day. You bring Denny back, or you bring Jrue Holiday back, which was awesome to see, to have him back. Now you just hope that Denny doesn't miss a lot of time. Luckily, the Blazers don't play tomorrow. Day off before heading on an away game to play Golden State, and then they come back home for a homestand. If he can go against Golden State, great. If not, have him ready by the homestand, and you just hope that's not something that is going to keep him out for a long time. Maybe it could be as simple as Robert Williams leaving the game the other day with a little bit of knee soreness. Just kind of this one throws you off because you feel that back ping, and boom, oh, man. That's, you got to get out because it throws you off. You just got to hope that it's not serious. Fingers crossed. As Jason says, losing Denny, what? Yeah, you were probably watching that Niner game. He did. Denny Avdia left late in the game. Went up for a rebound, came down awkward, instantly grabbed his back, headed straight to the locker room, did not return. That was with about 2 minutes left in the game. So we'll wait to see if there is an update on him. And, yeah, that's about all there is. And when I don't even want to get into the Niner stuff because that team's cursed too with injuries. I said something to Chad today because we were talking about Niner injuries. Like, have you ever seen a team it's just with as much bad luck when it comes to injuries as your San Francisco 49ers? I said, yeah, the Blazers. The Blazers didn't know the game was going to end with a possible injury to the best player on the team. So again, fingers crossed. We're not going doom and gloom yet. We have not heard any official word. The good part, I would say, if there is one, is Bro did walk under his own power to get to the locker room. He didn't have to get helped. He walked straight back there. So we will see what the diagnosis is. As soon as we get it, we will let you know. All right, this is the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt, and if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is your telephone number, and you can hit us up on the text line as well, 88528, where I'm getting the text says, are you excited for your chicken sandwich from Patrick? And that is right. When you make bets with friends and listeners, sometimes you have to pay up, sometimes they have to pay up. And I'm getting a free lunch because of the San Francisco-Philadelphia Eagle game. I just hope that I am also still employed when I get to the OSAA tomorrow because I made a bet with my boss because he's an Eagle fan. So don't take it out on me. We'll see what happens. We're going to take a quick break here, though. When we come back, going to hit you with our drive of the night, shot of the night. Still got Coach's Corner and a game ball to get to. All right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And, of course, you can text us at the text line 88528. And as one of our texters has to get in with the Simpsons reference, Homer just told me this was the worst weekend of my life so far, right? Get that? Simpsons movie? This is the worst day of my life. It's the worst day of your life so far. So there you go. Also, get another texter. Super scared for Denny. Love the Drew return, though. Caleb is really starting to find his spots. Caleb's been playing incredible. And one thing I liked about the dynamic of having Drew Holiday back was late in the game when they went super small. They took Donovan Clingan out, put Caleb Love in. I believe the lineup there for a minute, it was Caleb Love, Drew Holiday, Tumani Kamara, Shaden Sharp, and Denny Avdia was your lineup on the floor. Now you're not going to win a lot of rebound battles against the team, but you are going to be able to go score. And Caleb Love has been coming up real big as of late, so I'm with you there. I like what he's doing. He's working his way into getting a roster spot that is well deserved and well earned. That's for sure. But again, the play of Caleb Love and everyone else is just kind of a meh point today because the win or the loss it doesn't really matter. I mean, a win would have been nice. The loss is something that you go, okay, I get it. It's one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. They're a good club, but the Denny Avdia injury is what's gonna be the hang up now for some time. For absolutely some time, because until we get an official word as to what the injury actually is and how much time he's going to miss, then I definitely think Blazer fans are going to be just sitting there on the edge of their seat, just with the brown paper bag, like trying to not hyperventilate because you're just freaking out. Because if you lose him, that's a hard one to replace. We're talking about the one guy on the team that's playing at an absolute all-star level this year, and to see an injury right when the team is starting to put it together and play good ball and had won, like I said, 5 in a row, and they're just right on the cusp of becoming a 500 team, and they're still in the running for the NBA play-ins as we approach the halfway mark. Even with tonight's results, they're still 9th in the West, so they're right where they want to be. Things like that take a big hit when you lose Denny Avdia, who has been darn near averaging a triple-double and is well on his way to being an NBA All-Star this season. So we hope that when we do get word, it is not something that keeps him out long term. All right, let's take a look real quick at some of the other scores around the league tonight. Some of them do have a little impact on where those Blazers sit in the standings. But right now, with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, San Antonio has a 95-93 lead over Minnesota. Victor Wembanyama leading the way with 28 points, 7 boards. Dante DiVincenzo, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists for Minnesota. 10:30 left in the third. Milwaukee trails Denver 62-59. Giannis with 13 points, 7 assists. Aaron Gordon has 14 points for the Nuggets. In Phoenix, Washington is down by 12 with 11 minutes left in the third, 65-53. Alex Sarr with 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Royce O'Neal with 11.6 boards for the Suns. In Golden State, that is one you can watch closely to see how things kind of pan out for you, because you want to see the games against Golden State work in the other team's favor, as Golden State currently in the standings does have a slim 2.5 game lead over the Blazers, which means that game coming up on Tuesday does loom large in the grand scheme of things. The Blazers with 3 wins over the Golden State Warriors already, you would hope you could get one more, but right now the Warriors have a 39-38 lead over the Atlanta Hawks with 6:50 left. Steph Curry has 11 points. In Sacramento, midway through the first quarter, it's the Rockets 11, the Kings 15. Zach LaVine has 8 points. Alfred Sengun has 3, so he's back on the floor. Blazers were fortunate to not have him on the court because those games might have gone different because he's pretty darn good, but he's back. And then final scores around the league tonight: Orlando 128, New Orleans 118. Anthony Black had 26, 7, and 3. Memphis gets a big win over the Nets. I say big win because they are just behind your Trailblazers right now. They are 10th in the West, and with the Blazers losing tonight and Memphis winning, Memphis is now just a game and a half behind your Trailblazers. The Clippers are just 3 games behind the Trailblazers as well. So the Blazers want to find some wins as often as they can. Toronto grabs a slim 116-115 victory over the 76ers in overtime. Scotty Barnes had 31 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. The Thunder, it looks like they might drop one for a minute. Then they had a pretty massive third quarter, but they beat the Heat 124-112. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 29 points and 8 assists. And, of course, final score here at Moda tonight, the New York Knicks 123, the Trailblazers 114. And Denny Avdia led the way. He had 24 points and 3 steals, which makes the injury just even more like, no. Why? Why did he have to get hurt? It's a real good question. Another good question is one of our texters has asked, when everyone is back, who sits? So Love and City play. That is a good question. That is a good question because you got to understand in the grand scheme, like where do things fit? I think if this team gets healthy, the debate becomes who gets those crumbs of minutes on the end of the bench. Is it City or is it Caleb? And it will probably come down to situational type stuff because I don't really see anyone sitting so those guys can play. If anything, I would argue that it's Chris Murray who has to watch out where his minutes are going to go. And then you saw Ryan Rupert play a little bit tonight. He played 10 minutes. I would assume that once this team's healthy, that he'll probably get relegated to the bench. But if you have your full complement of players, obviously outside of Dame, say Blake Wesley and Matisse are back too, then you start to really get into that conundrum. I think the starting lineup on this team healthy is back to what you were at the beginning of the year. So Drew, Shea, Tu, Denny, and Klingon. And that gives your bench Jeremy Grant, I think Matisse Thybulle if he's healthy, right? And then Robert Williams, of course. And then you start running into okay, now where does everyone else fit in? So that's where you get the Caleb Loves for sure with the way he's been playing. And then you start to get the City Sissokos because I think in general, I think both those guys have outplayed Chris Murray and Ryan Rupert as well, even though Ryan Rupert has played better as of late. Young Hanson's probably at that point going to see a lot of time at the G League and everything because then you got Blake Wesley too. I mean, so does Blake Wesley get relegated to the bench? And then again, we're talking if everyone's healthy, so we're talking, we're in game 70 or whatever. But at that point, too, is Blake Wesley on the floor ahead of Caleb Love? And the answer is probably yes if you need defense, no if you need offense. So you got to figure that out. The thing is, and it's more important for those two guys, and it's a really good question, is that they've definitely both played their ways into being full-time guys. And now you have to decide how you do that because you don't have the roster space to bring those guys up right now. You either have to cut someone or trade someone. And as I mentioned earlier on the pregame show, I hope it happens via trade, not via waiving a player, because you don't have to bring anyone in. You're not going to want to bring anyone in. For example, if Dwop Reith is the guy that's the odd man out and you want to trade him, it's probably Dwop to Team X for a second-round pick, some sort of tangible asset. But I hope it's via trade, not so that the Blazers get a second-round pick, but so guys like Dwop and Chris, who have played their tails off for this team, especially in times of need when the roster's been decimated by injuries, so that they land on a bench somewhere. Because I just don't want to see Dwop Reith as a free agent going, okay, where's my next stop? And then no one signs him. Because he has played very, very well, all things considered, for the Blazers. He's still, your third, fourth string center, or depending on how you want to play things, and isn't looking at a lot of playing time, if any playing time on a fully healthy roster. But I would love to see him on a bench rather than hitting free agency. Get a little second-round pick maybe. It clears up a spot, and that's where you throw Sissoko and Caleb Love. But no, that's going to be the question as everyone gets healthy. I thought it was nice tonight to see some of those minutes with Caleb Love and Drew Holiday together, see how they play off each other. It was nice to see Denny get the ball out of his hands a little more on offense and at least have someone to pass through who could reset. So you saw the good in all that, but of course now Denny's hurt. And we'll see how long he's going to be out because, again, we don't have an update as to what that timeline is or what the actual injury is. All we know is he went up for a rebound, came down a little hard on it, landed on his feet. When I say came down hard, like he didn't land on his back, he came down on his feet, but the impact itself was hard, and he instantly grabbed his low back and went to the locker room asking for a sub. So as soon as we get an update, I have my phone over here just opening it up constantly to see if PR has sent out an update to us. But as soon as we get an update, we'll definitely let you know. All right, this is the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can hit us up on YouTube. Just go to Rip City Radio and right there, or hit us up on the text line, 88528. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to head to the coach's corner and hand out a game ball. But before we do, it's time for your shot of the night. is time now for the Coach's Corner. Let's go down to press row, hear what Coach Thiago Splitter had to say to the media following this loss to the Knicks.
I'm not sure exactly what it is still, but he found his back. So that's all I can tell you. Something on his back.
What's your level of concern over that situation?
I mean, it's a little bit, it's a tough one, tough hit, after what he's doing for us. But I don't want to, sound the alarm too early. But yeah, I'm definitely worried about it.
How do you think Drew looked in his first game back?
Well, still, getting some rust out of it. It's normal. I think most important thing is that he didn't feel anything. So, we also don't have time to practice too much and get him in game rhythm. So we got to, slowly get him back this way, bring him, short stints, in and out, and little by little getting him more minutes.
I assume, piggybacking off that, it's ease him kind of back to his normal minutes load. Yeah. What was the difference down the stretch for you guys? It's kind of so many close game wins. Let's put it the other way today.
Well, I think this is a good team. They OG hit a couple of threes there. Brunson just reading every situation. I think they took advantage of our defense being in drop, and he was very good doing that. We tried to manage, the minutes with Rob, with Towns, because of the pick and pop situation. So it's a difficult matchup. It's a very good team, very smart. A lot of vets and a lot of shooting around the perimeter. So it's one of the best teams in the East.
Who is the MVP tonight for the Trailblazers? It's time for Game Balls on Fifth Quarter, live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light, choose chill.
All right, there you heard from Thiago Splitter. Time now to hand out a game ball, and this one's pretty simple. Like, I'm not worried about the performances overall, but I'm giving the game ball to Drew Holiday. It was just nice to see him back after missing almost 2 months. 16 minutes of action, 8 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and in true Drew fashion, he did have a steal, which was nice to see. I do want to point out, too, that it was a loss, but the Blazers still performed decently when it came to taking care of the ball, under their average for turnovers once again. That's 6 straight games now, so they're doing pretty good there. That's what you like to see. It was sloppy in the first quarter. I think they had 5 of them in the first quarter, and then were able to tone it down. But it doesn't really matter because, like I said, the outcome is not what anyone's worried about. Anyone who watched that game or is listening to the show for the last half hour is just worried about what the status of Deni Avdija is. And, of course, we have not seen an update or anything. Trailblazers media info did say that there is no practice tomorrow. That's not shocking because the team very likely traveling down to Golden State. They don't tend to do the morning of and travel on game day. But we're going to be locked in to our notifications here in media to make sure we understand the latest on Deni as soon as we find it, and knock on wood, fingers crossed, hope that it's something that does not keep him out for a long period of time. But it's never good when a player goes to the locker room because they're hurt. But, again, you could also go, oh, it was kind of good that he walked to the locker room under his own power. That might be something to, keep hope. But, again, we'll see. So keep it locked in to Rip City Radio 620, because as soon as we get an update, we will definitely let you know about it. All right, that's going to do it for the fifth quarter tonight. The Blazers' winning streak ends, and the Blazers take their first loss of the 2026 calendar. Oh, painful. Still, though, 3-1 on this homestand. Very, very good. Blazers will go now. They have one away game on Tuesday at Golden State, and then they come back for 2 home games against Atlanta and newly acquired C.J. McCollum, and the Lakers on Saturday. Back on the road for an easy one-off against the Sacramento Kings. I mean easy because of the trip. It's a quick trip. And then more home games. Miami, Toronto. We're getting loaded here with some home games, which is kind of nice. But next game will be Tuesday. Make sure you mark the calendar with the special tip-off time, 8 o'clock, because it will be on NBC. Meaning I will have game day for you at 6 p.m. p.m. Once again, tip-off against Golden State Warriors on Tuesday, 8 o'clock, meaning I will have game day for you at 6 p.m. Once again, final score from Moda tonight. Your Trailblazers 114, the New York Knicks 123. Oh, that's all right. They played well. On to the next. Just hope Denny is okay. I've been your host, Chris Burkhardt. Thanks for listening. Rip City, I'll talk to you on the next one.